Okay guys, so in this video I'm going to recap all the changes coming with exotics into TU9, and I'm also going to talk about exotics for the future, and from a brief conversation I've had with Nikki as well, and it does regard just exotics in general and having them compared to named weapons, and are exotics really worth it? And I'll get into that later into the video, but I'll just recap state of the game for now. So let's get into it, guys. So exotics, right? So they're about your playstyles and having fun with them. And that's exactly what Nikki said, and it's true. If you're going to run exotics, it's all about your playstyle, your build, and how you like to play, right? But changes coming for that are, so now the drops on exotics are actually going to be better structured from normal, hard, challenging, heroic, and legendary. So they're not going to be mediocre minimum rolls now. So there'll be sort of a baseline minimum depending on the difficulty of what you're playing, right? Content wise. But then it'll either go as far as a god roll, but that's down to RNG, right? So now comes the interesting part. So shout out to Reedsy on this one the other day. So he was recrafting level 30 exotics, right? So I've got a bit of a clip of this right now. So again, the cost of this is going to stay the same going into TU9 for the reconfiguration. So one exotic component and then whatever resources, yeah. But if you were to recraft level 30 exotics, yeah, again, it fully god rolls them, right? So say for example you wanted to level your triple god roll level 30 exotic to 40. It's going to recraft it as a brand new exotic again, and you're then going to have the chances of it actually not being god rolled. But you can keep re-rolling that exotic as many times as you want until you get the rolls you're happy with. Now that's cool, but a lot of us were thinking going into this they were going to let us just re-roll one attribute. That would have meant using the recalibration station. Not recalibration station, sorry, but you know, the stat library. Using that. But no, it's a crafting bench and you're just effectively recrafting it until you're satisfied. Fair enough. But, you know, it's still going to be down to RNG at the end of the day, and even your pre-order bonus exotics like the Lullaby and the Ruthless, I've never seen them drop in the open world. And, you know, maybe some of you have, but I've never seen it. So some of you might be lucky enough to get a level 40 variant of that. Who knows? But one of the other interesting things after state of the game, one of the lads, PHX Gaming, actually messaged Nikki saying, "Hey Nikki, great job again today. I am very concerned and confused if exotics are not supposed to be the best in the game. Why have them at all? What's the purpose or the point? I know it's going to change playstyles, but is it enough? Should they be more powerful?" Now, that's a fair point, because exotics in general just don't seem that powerful. The majority of them. Not all of them, just a fair majority of the exotics, right? Now, Nikki replies with, "Powerful, yes, best in slot, maybe close. They're supposed to be unique and cool, different from high ends, not just outright outclassing everything else." Now, yes, that is a very, very fair point. Now, the idea of exotics in general, and you go back to the Division 1, they were the best weapons in the game, right? They're an exotic, they should be the best weapons, period, out fucking right. But what I noticed over the last year, when we had exotics, they were powerful. You know, they were. You had the high ends, then the exotics. Then came the introduction of named weapons in gear, and that almost shifted the balance away from actually really using exotics other than for their holster talent, right? But since Loot 2.0, which they scrapped the holster talents, but named weapons and gear are normally the main things that you use over exotics. Period. But I replied to Nikki saying, I'm just theory crafting for a second. But what's the point in running standard high ends and in general when normally the majority of people are running all the named variants of everything or running a full named loadout? Shouldn't it be about time now where we go back to a Division 1 style where we can now run a full exotic loadout? Now, a follow-up, well, sorry, Nikki replies with, that's true, named items can be better. Then it's regular high end until you get a good version of the named item. It's regular high end with good stats. Perfectly adequate. Now, yet again, that's a fair point. But he follows, just like exotics, my point is just having the item shouldn't make it the best option. Again, it shouldn't be the best option, but it comes across like named gear was just rebranded high ends with just high stat rolls of the normal talents and almost outshits some of the exotics. I mean, if you look at the game right now, the main exotics you run gear-wise, right? Dynasty holster. Maybe if you're one of the players that likes to use cover to cover, you're going to run the Ninja Bike pads. If you want survivability, you're going to run the tardigrade chest piece. If you want to be in a squad of DPS players, the majority of you are all going to go stack Coyote's masks for more crit. Simple, right? Now, the point I was making, if you were able to have a full exotic loadout, it would add more build diversity, just like in Division 1 where you had exotic builds. For those of you that don't know, that was high ends / exotics. Or you could then do that with named gear, right? You could have like 3 and 3, 2 and 3, you name it. However you can make a build work, you could do it. But also, maybe it could be something for the future, because honestly, I think it really would add more build diversity to the game than just the current meta of, for example, the cheesy way, True Patriot with a shield and the Pestilence and a rifle. Now, the one thing I don't like about rifle builds is you can have a headshot scope, like 8 times, sharpshooter scope, and you don't have to be zoomed in to get that headshot damage because of the shield. It puts you in third person, which then makes rifle builds really OP when they really shouldn't be that OP when you're using a shield. But if you look at then True Patriot with the Pestilence, right, all you're doing is debuffing and getting healing. But then because of the status effect of the Pestilence, you're actually doing quite a lot of damage. Now in PvE, that's really fun, but in PvP, it's AIDS. It's actually quite stupid. But obviously that is the current meta at the moment until that changes to something else. But, you know, I was also thinking like maybe in the future they could re-add some Division 1 exotics to the game. I'm not saying add every single one of them, but just like they're doing with the seasonal manhunts, they're reintroducing old and new variants of skills, right? So why couldn't they do that with, you know, exotics? So I jumped on Division 1, and as you can see on the screen, it's a fully exotic loadout, pretty much, right? I kid you not, Division 1 PvP, PvE, that was one of the most fun ways of playing the game at the time, at its peak. Like, some of the pieces they could bring back would be like Pharaoh's Mask. Currently, status effect builds, you put on fire, you die instantly. If you would put on fire, you could still run and shoot. Pharaoh's Mask. The Bliss holster. shooting up for a couple of stacks, then triggers an EMP. That would be brilliant against Black Tusk, right? Obviously, we don't have the LMB in the game, but we have White Black Tusk, which are effectively LMB. That could drop from them. You know, they could bring back some of the odd weapons. Like, I know the Historian was basically the Merciless originally with the talent, with primer rounds. But, you know, they could bring back the House because we've got the named MPX variant, which is the apartment. So they could bring that back. The House and Lady Liberty are effectively almost the same weapon. How they work, instead of having one half your magazine doing extra damage, you're running up for damage of stack of movement to get that. You know, there's so many exotics in Division 1 that were great. I mean, they could be really, really good if they reintroduced them slightly. Because when the Foundry comes out, apparently what was data mined is 2 gear sets. Foundry's Bulwark and something else, which is effectively D3 FNC and Reclaimer. So they're coming back into the Division 2, just like Striker came back. So you see what I mean? They're recycling old content. Why can't they just bring back some of the old exotics? Because the main exotics that are currently still being used in this game are the Year 1 exotics over the new ones. Dynasty holster exempt, because that is being used a lot. But what do you guys think? Would it be cool if they brought some of the old stuff back? Because I think it'd be cool. Even if we could run 6-piece exotic loadouts, right? I think that'd be fun. You know, different play styles. It would be more fun. Flat out, it would be. I just don't like how exotics went from being really, really cool. So then we got named gear. Exotics sort of dropped down the pecking order. And named gear stays the new high end. Like, I think exotics in general just, they need more love. They are meant to be the best gear in the fucking game. I said it before, I'll say it again. Let us have more fun with exotics. And yeah, that is basically the video, guys. Like, oh, also, spoiler, I found something on Twitter. Now, Nikki replied to a Division player. Raid exclusive exotics for the Foundry. So, Nikki was asked another question. Hey, can you share any news on the last 2 exotic weapons, the Ravenous and the Regulus? Are they Raid 2 exclusive? Thanks. And Nikki replied, correct, we didn't have time or stay at the game yesterday, but yes, indeed, they are Raid 2 exotics and will be available when the raid comes out. So, now we know when they come out. Which I still say the raid is end of May, first week of June, roughly. That's when we'll expect to see it. But hey, if you guys like this video in any way, then be sure to drop a comment down below. You know, drop a like, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next Division 2 video, which I'm going to be talking about PvP. If you don't like PvP, well, unlucky. But for those PvP lovers that, you know, we're not getting any love, Redstorm not working on the game anymore, it's time for the truth bombs to start coming out. So if you like a semi-rant video where I'm going to start dropping truth bombs, then yeah, look forward to that one. So anyway, peace out guys, and you know, see you later.